Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mind Body Medicine for Chronic Pain podcast. I am here with a guest who you all knew was coming because I announced this a while ago, Anna Krishtal. Welcome, Anna.
Oh, thank you, Sean. So good to be here.
So good to have you. And if folks listened to the episode I did on ketamine and chronic pain treatment, information from Anna was heavily featured in that one. And now she is actually here to talk to us. So, yeah, if you want to start by just introducing yourself and telling the audience a little bit about who you are.
Sure. So, Anna Krishtal, host of the Ketamine Connections podcast, where we talk about ketamine as a healing modality, but more so the subconscious mind. I started off as a hypnotherapist in 2018, which was never my plan. It's just where my journey took me to. I started off with like leadership, sort of corporate advancement. A lot of like business stuff led me to learn about the subconscious mind, which led me to study hypnotherapy, which then led to me leaving my corporate career to become a hypnotherapist. And that was in 2018 that I started working as a professional hypnotherapist. And then in 2018 also, I had my own psychedelic awakening, left very disoriented. And yeah, people started coming to me around 2019, 2020, looking for guidance in their own psychedelic work. So I started doing psychedelic coaching in 2019, 2020, and then stumbled into the ketamine space in 2021 because the ketamine space is this level playing ground for psychedelic healing right now. It's the first legal psychedelic that we have in the US. It's readily accessible now with Spravato being covered by insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. It's even more widely spread. And so I think this information is really necessary in all psychedelic work, but really in the ketamine space is where I find it to go the furthest. So yeah, started off as a hypnotherapist, moved to psychedelic coaching, very influenced into the subconscious mind because as you know, if people want to transform their life, what they actually want to transform is the subconscious mind. And so that is the work that I do, a lot of coaching, still a lot of hypnosis work, and even more so, a lot of education around what this all means.
Yes, a lot of education. And I will put in a plug for Anna's Ketamine Connections podcast. It is so educational, for lack of a better word. I love the podcast, and I think for people who are considering ketamine or psychedelics, or even not, I think there's a ton of really cool information on there. So putting in a plug for that. This is random, but I know we've never talked about this, but I know this from the podcast. You used to work in study abroad, is that right?
Mhm.
So cool. I love that because when I was in college, I did one semester where I studied abroad in Ireland, which was so cool. And another, I was like an international student. It was easy because I spoke
Right.
English, they spoke English. It was easy. So I was just like an international student at a school in Ireland, which was so awesome. And then I did a second semester where I did like an off-campus domestic program in Chicago.
Oh,
It
nice.
was like an urban studies, business, and arts program. Those experiences changed my
Mhm.
life. And I think about the people, especially who worked at the Chicago program. I think about the people who worked in that program, and I wanted that job so bad when I was in college. I was like, this would be the coolest thing. So the fact that you actually did that is so awesome. And then you transition to doing this. I'm like, wow. I guess we're in the right spot.
Yeah, it's interesting. I talk about this a little bit on the show, but travel is a way of activating the subconscious mind. Anything that breaks our patterns, anything that kind of takes us out of our normal mundane life is a way to transform the subconscious mind, right? Even though Ireland, English speaking country, sure. But I've been to Ireland. It's very different, right? Aesthetically,
It is.
culturally, in all the ways.
Yeah.
And so what that does to the brain is it's like, oh, there's other ways of living. And it opens up these possibilities of like, oh, things don't have to be how I think they are all the time. Things can actually be different, which is like the smallest avenue, and still it's the biggest avenue to be like, "Wait, what else can be different?"
Yes. I mean, I could go down such a rabbit hole with different, like, intellectual awakenings that I had while studying abroad. I won't, but I know what you mean. Travel really does change one's perspective in pretty profound ways, 1,000%. It's just funny to hear that all the things you have done in your career, they seem, I guess, very different, but if you look at it through the lens of, like, changing the subconscious mind, they're actually all that, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And, okay, but that is basically what we're, here to talk about is the subconscious mind and, of course, psychedelics and ketamine as well. But, I know you know a lot about this and you have, like, a whole online course about this, so wherever you wanna jump in with, give us a little primer on the subconscious mind. What like, A, does it exist? Obviously, we know the answer is yes, but, like, some people might not know that. Does it exist? What is it? Where is it? Like, give us a primer.
I I love that we're still in that conversation of, like, "Is it real?" It's like, I don't know. Is gravity real? Like, we don't see it, but,
Right.
like, don't jump off the roof, like, to test that
Right.
hypothesis. Uh,
Right.
yeah, the subconscious mind it's so esoteric, which I think is hilarious because it's actually really scientific. And that's also been a lot of my approach and my avenue into this world. Like I said, I was in corporate with study abroad, which is not very corporate, but still, I was, climbing the corporate ladder in leadership. And really, I didn't know it at the time, but looking back on it, it was the first time that I was working on that level of output without, without ADHD medication.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I was medicated through college and grad school, and
Mhm,
always was just like, "Oh, that's just something I need for school." So when I left
mhm,
school, I stopped the meds and then,
mhm,
started leading study abroad, which is not very, sit down and work, it's education, but it's education in context. And
mhm,
I then landed in a career in study abroad, which I had been manifesting and working towards very intentionally. And all of a
mhm,
sudden I was just like, wait, I'm supposed to like answer like hours of email a day. Oh my gosh, I have to like coordinate all these moving parts. And so I was feeling like the true question was like, why does it feel like my brain and I are on different sides? Like we're not on the same team,
mhm,
right? Like I want to sit down
mhm.
and work. This is my dream job with my dream career in my dream city doing everything that I want to do. But why is my brain like over here, like, I don't know, at a circus?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, got it.
And even back then, like, we had social media, but it wasn't even I mean, let me think about this. It was, like, 2013 that I'm talking about. So,
Mhm,
we still had Instagram. TikTok was not even a concept as far as I know. And,
right.
like, our attention span was still it was getting shrunken, but it was still pretty robust based on what our attention span is being trained to be now. And so that was
Mhm,
my question of just like, how do I get my brain and myself on the same side? And so a lot of the like business, leadership, like all of those books were hinting at the subconscious mind. I read The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. That was one of my first entries into this world. He did a great job with that book because he cites as a nerd, he cites his sources,
mhm.
so then I went and read all of the books that he read to make that book possible. What are their names? Oh my gosh, the name of the book is Switch, and it's, like, how to change your brain when change is hard. I forget their brothers that wrote the book, I don't have it top of mind right now, and so all of a sudden, I'm, like, studying the subconscious mind, I'm just like, "Oh, okay." So it does exist, and the reason it's maybe so elusive or mysterious is because sub is underneath. So our
Mhm,
subconscious mind is underneath our conscious mind. Just the same
mhm,
way that a submarine is underwater, right? If you're I don't know, if you're a coast guard and you're looking out onto the water, you might not know that there's a submarine, right? I mean, I know there's
mhm,
whatever radar they use to track it, but still, the point is what we're talking about with the subconscious is that it's underneath the layer of the conscious, and we are a very, consciously minded, focused society, right? Even
Mhm.
what I was
Yeah.
attempting to do at the time of like, I have these goals, like I need to answer this many emails, I need to like do this much work, I need to have this level of output. Well, all of that is in the conscious mind.
Yeah, and let me butt in to say, even in most modern forms of psychotherapy, not all, but most modern forms of psychotherapy are very focused on the conscious mind, which is very limiting. But yeah, yeah, I'm with you that we're a very conscious focused society. But
Right.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, talk therapy is very consciously focused and um very proven to be ineffective as well. Probably because of that. I mean, we could do a
Mhm.
whole 'nother show on, like, why that is from a subconscious lens, but the point is when we are working on, yeah, on anything brain related, so the subconscious mind is 95% of the brain, which is,
Mhm.
like, an incredible majority.
Mhm. Right, right, like, it won that election in a landslide.
Right, it's like, "Oh, if it was half of that and it was, 42.5%, we'd be like, "Oh, that's significant," but
Mhm,
95%. So,
mhm,
what's happening in the subconscious mind? We have our autonomic nervous system. Like, let's just name that, right? The reason that you and I can have this conversation and we're not, like, telling our lungs to breathe and our, muscles to hold up our body so we can sit straight in a chair, like, all of that. So, autonomic nervous system, thank goodness, right? Lets us go about our
mhm,
lives without having to micromanage all of our organs. We also
mhm,
have our belief system. So, what I believe about the world, I believe about my place in the world, what I believe is possible, what I believe is possible for me, all of that lens of reality. Again, scientifically, we know that there is no objective reality. We are creating our reality through our belief system. Most of that belief system is ingrained in us by the age of 7. So a lot of us are living out unless you consciously, intentionally do work to reprogram it, to work with it, to question the beliefs that you have. You're living out programming of whatever you experienced, were told, family of origin stuff, however you were
mhm,
raised, living out that programming. We have
mhm,
our memories and we have our patterns, right? It's
mhm,
like, okay, a lot of us have, we move about the world in the same way. A lot of people, commute to work, or even if you're not commuting to work, I know there's like a big work from home culture. There's still like a way, like, okay, I wake up on this side of the bed. I get out of bed, I put this, foot on the floor first. I brush my teeth with this hand every single time. And so all of that patterning.
Well, and yeah, let me also add that the patterns for this community with people with chronic pain, the common patterns that I just wanna name for people listening, patterns and, often it comes from childhood conditioning is, repressing your
Mhm.
emotions or fearing your emotions, and often that's happening outside of the it's happening subconsciously. It's happening outside of the purview of full consciousness where you're repressing your emotions and fearing your emotions and trying not to feel and, negating yourself, like putting other people first, putting yourself last. Common patterns and early learnings for people with chronic pain and chronic symptoms, and that stuff lives mostly in the subconscious space. So I just want to name that like, what you're talking about is very relevant for people who are listening to this. But yeah, yeah, go ahead.
And a lot of that is also cultural. There's cultural
Yeah,
beliefs, like, even though, the US, we are such a big country here, and we have pockets of different cultures, of what is, you know, how do we relate to each other? How do we relate to the world around us? I left New York City in the pandemic and I ended up in Arizona. I'm now in Texas. And I was living in Arizona and I was just like, you know what? If I start thinking about this like a study abroad program, I'm gonna have a much easier time. Like, I am just, like, out of the context of my normal culture, and that
yeah,
really helped me because, where I come from in the Northeast, it's very common for people to graduate high school and go straight to college. That's not
right.
necessarily the case of where I was in Arizona, and so even just that alone shifts the timeline of people's life experience, and it shifts again, right? Like how we talk to each other, how we again, what I believe about the world, what I believe about my place in the world, all of that is living in the subconscious mind. And
Mhm.
it's able to be accessed. Like it's not like, well, that's just like locked away in a cave somewhere, so, good luck.
Mhm. Mhm.
and and we did. I mean, again, science has caught up with this, decades ago, because we used to believe as a community, as a scientific community, it was believed that like, oh, your brain, like any organ in your body, all of our organs reach a mature state, and it was believed like, oh, our brain at 35, that's it, right? Well, this is who I am.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
that's a very toxic attitude. I've dated
Mhm.
that attitude. Don't date that attitude.
That's yeah, sounds bad. Sounds
Take it
very
or
bad.
leave it.
Man,
So,
can't change.
yeah, so we are able to access it and change things around at any age as well. So it's not like, okay, like someone's listening to this and they're like, "Oh, I'm in my 60s." Like, well, shoot, did I miss the window? No. We have access to neuroplasticity, the ability to change the brain, to rewire the synaptic connections. The cool thing about that, right? If you don't use it, you lose it. So that has to do as with the subconscious mind, just like anything else. I worked and studied abroad for a long time. I was a Spanish teacher, actually. That's how I got into that.
Oh, cool. I
And
didn't know that.
when
Wow,
you
cool.
are a Spanish teacher in the world, people love to tell you that they took so many years in high school and now don't remember anything. Why?
I am that person. I took many years, 5th grade to freshman year of college. I don't remember that much, but I remember some
Why don't you remember it?
because I don't
There you
use it.
go. Right? And it's the same way with everything that you're talking about. Self-abandonment, people-pleasing habits, putting others' needs above your own. That's just a pattern that you learned, right? And if you can, just acknowledge, like, "Oh, this is just the way that I was brought up. This is what my family taught me. This is what my family might still believe." And
Mhm,
from that place, say, "Okay, well, I can rewire my beliefs." And the cool thing is that the stuff that you don't use, you will lose. Like, there's only so many, synaptic connections that the brain can hold at one time. And so when you work to change your patterns and change your beliefs, it actually will the old stuff will go away. You might still have memory of it, right? Like, oh, I in this situation, I would in the past, I would have, taken on extra responsibilities for my team at work because they're all looking at me in this meeting. And so that means that I have to do the thing that everyone's looking at me. But now I'm just sitting here going, sounds like someone needs to step up and do this. Who's it going to be?
yeah, yeah, I love that.
But there is actually there's an exercise that I love to do to prove to people that the subconscious mind is real. If you've listened to the Ketamine Connections podcast, it's the lemon exercise.
Oh, right. Let's actually
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
If you're down, let's do
Okay.
it. Okay,
It's
let's do it.
easier if you close your eyes because then you're blocking out any like stimulus coming at you. Just like so, taking closing the eyes down. If you're driving, keep your eyes open.
Mhm. Right, right, right. If it's safe, close your
Yeah, if you're
eyes,
walking
join
the
us.
streets of New
My
York
eyes
City,
are
keep your
closed
eyes
now.
open as well. Uh,
Right, right, right.
and just take a cleansing breath, inhale through the nose, exhale, let it go. And we're not doing anything too extravagant here. We're just doing an imagination exercise. So, tapping into the power of your imagination. And for different people, imagination occurs differently. Some people will see imagination, some people will hear it, others might just know it's there, and others might feel it. So just knowing that anyway is right. So, what I want the audience, the listener right now to imagine is that it is a very hot day. Like, I don't know, it's like 95 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale. And it's hot, it's sunny. Maybe you've been outside and you're just kind of like sweating and just like, oof, there's like some um, awareness that your body's in overheat. And you go inside and you walk to the refrigerator and you open the refrigerator and you see a lemon. You're like, "Yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for." You take the lemon out of the fridge and you grab a cutting board and a knife and you place the lemon and maybe you just like roll it and squish it a little bit before you do the next part. And so here you are in the kitchen on a hot day with a lemon, cutting board and knife. You cut a wedge of the lemon, you pick it up, you place it in your mouth, and you take a giant bite. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Smile on the face, open the eyes. So what happened?
I feel it.
What do you feel?
Like, I feel my mouth, like, I feel like I knew it was coming, so before like, even when I was just walking in to get the lemon, I was already, like, feeling this, like, kind of sour, sensation in my mouth with, like, extra like, I could feel myself salivating, and then when I imagine really putting yeah, I still feel it. I can feel, like, the sour kind of, like, sharpness on my tongue.
Where's the lemon?
Right, it's in my head. It's in my imagination.
I can't imagine anyone listening to that exercise actually had a lemon that they executed the exercise with, mostly because I
Right,
didn't prompt you to.
right.
So, it's the same, I don't watch scary movies anymore, but in when I used to, right? It's just like, why are we like, like the door slams in a movie and we're like safe in our own home or in a movie theater, whatever it is, and we have this visceral response. All of that lives in the subconscious mind. And the cool thing about the subconscious mind is it's always on your side, right? I started my journey
Mm,
with this belief of like, "Oh, we're on different teams," right? Like, I wanna work,
mm.
I wanna focus, I wanna do my job, and I wanna do it well, and my brain wants to go elsewhere, right? It's just like, "Is there chocolate in the kitchen? I don't know." Like,
Mhm.
"Wait,
Right,
did that
right.
person text me back? Like, what's for
Right,
dinner tonight?"
right.
And and the thing to know is that yeah, the subconscious mind is on your side. It's what it's doing is that it's living out the reality that has been programmed into it, right? And so to speak to your audience, right, with mind body medicine, just the things that you were talking about earlier with self abandonment, people pleasing, very common patterns and ways of being that a lot of us have picked up in the world. And what we know there is that that is your subconscious programming for safety.
Yeah,
If I don't
yes,
do the thing that everyone at the meeting is staring at me to do, am I safe? Are they going to
yeah.
attack me? Are they going to exile me? Are they going to, I don't know, say mean things and I don't know how to handle rejection or disappointment. And so now I need to like protect myself from feelings that I haven't been taught how to feel. And yeah, all of that is in the subconscious mind, and all of that is reprogrammable.
Yeah, yeah, and isn't that awesome? Yes, and let me, say I love that you're bringing up the idea of, like, my mind is against me and my brain is against me because I truly think every person who has chronic pain or chronic symptoms has had the thought, "My body is against me." And in the healing process, people often come into it with the idea, "My body is against me, my body is against me. What doctor is going to fix my body? What procedure is going to fix my body? What supplement or what, like, protocol, diet, whatever, what cleanse, what is going to fix my body so that it's finally not against me?" And then when people finally find this path, like when people have gone through everything and nothing has really helped them, and they find this path of healing through neuroplasticity and healing emotionally and psychologically, what people find is that their body was on their side all along.
Mhm.
They just did not know how to read. They didn't know that how to listen. They didn't know how to interpret the signals. Like they didn't know, but their body was on their side.
It is about 95 degrees in Texas, and I am, like, have chills everywhere because yes, it's so true where people like, "Oh, that belief, that pattern, that" it was just trying to keep me safe, but it was trying to keep me safe from an old programming and an old conditioning, being an
Right.
ADHD kid in grade school, goodness
Mhm.
gracious, that was not a
Yeah,
safe experience for me, and so
yeah.
learning now is just like, "No, I can speak up because A, I'm an adult, B,
Mhm.
I've learned how to advocate for myself, and C, the stakes are not as high as my subconscious mind wants to convince me that it is. Like, I might disappoint someone, okay, I never on purpose, right? That's another thing that we can go on a whole rabbit hole around, right? Like, the difference between intention and impact, right? Like, your
Mhm.
body's let's just talk about it with what we're talking about here. Your body's intention is to keep you safe. The impact is chronic pain or
Right.
autoimmune, flare-ups that
Mhm.
feel like, "Wait, this isn't what I want," but on a subconscious
Right, right.
level.
It's like ruining your
Yeah.
life. Right, right. But yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, it is ruining your life because it's you haven't updated, right? Your subconscious mind is this little baby 7-year-old, and
Mhm.
actually, I've been showing this more. This is my little baby 5-year-old right here.
Oh, cute. Oh, I wish everybody could see. There's a literal picture of Anna at age
I'm
5.
pretty sure this was my passport photo from the old country to the
Oh,
new country.
wow, no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
that's
she's
really
always
lovely.
here, because remembering, right? Like, she's still alive and,
Mhm,
she's still a part of my subconscious, she's still a part of my internal family system, and knowing that, like, I don't need her to answer the email, I don't need her to answer the whatever it is, and so a lot of us, right, consciously, we wanna live a big life, out in the world, whatever that means, that is super personal to whoever's listening, right? For some people, it's starting a nonprofit. For other people, it's just like showing up for your, family unit, whatever it is. There's no hierarchy on that, in my opinion.
mhm,
But your conscious mind wants to do this thing, and your subconscious mind is going, I don't have the programming, I don't have the tools, I don't have the belief system that I can do that.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I wanna get into talking a bit about, healing and about psychedelics. Anything else to say about the subconscious mind generally before we transition to
I
that?
think we've already said too much.
Oh, there's always more to say. It's never too much. But okay, let's get because of course, people listening know this probably that Anna's specialty is helping people heal through both hypnotherapy and psychedelics, particularly ketamine. And while not everybody listening to this podcast is necessarily going to go down those paths, everybody listening to this podcast is pretty much going to need to do some deep emotional and psychological work that will impact the subconscious mind. So even if people are not exactly like, "Oh, I'm going to try psychedelics," or "I want to do hypnotherapy," that it's not necessary to do those things particularly, but those things access the subconscious mind in the same way that like somatically oriented therapy accesses the subconscious mind or like deep basically the stuff we talk about on this podcast accesses the subconscious mind. So this is one way to do that. So what people think who sometimes come to this with the wrong paradigm, which you do such a good job, Anna, of educating about in your podcast, is people think like this is a psychedelic is a pill or a whatever it is. It's a drug that will cure me of my depression, of my anxiety, of my OCD, of my chronic pain, for example. And that's not how it works, which is I think to me it kind of seems like that's one of the number one things you teach. It does work, but it doesn't work in that way.
Mm.
So wherever you want to take this, talk to us about how you help people use psychedelics to access the subconscious mind to make healing possible.
I would love to.
Great. We're all ears.
So, the first thing I will say, it's the most common misconception about who I am and the work that I do in the world. I don't administer psychedelics. So, the clients that I work with are working with ketamine, either at home therapy, ketamine therapy, which is increasingly common and just accessible, or at a clinic. So, people are accessing the medicine through a prescriber, through medical oversight. There we go. And
Mhm.
and what I'm doing is I'm doing the preparation and the integration. So that's important because we do operate in this allopathic model of medicine where a few things. One, we're very symptom oriented. So a lot of the Western medical allopathic model that I'm talking about is like, okay, if we've gotten rid of the symptoms, then we've gotten rid of the problem, and that's how we get on this treadmill and like just like yeah, like prescription after prescription after prescription after it's like, oh, like you have one prescription that it's just so common to have so many different prescriptions. I'm not
Mhm.
anti-prescriptions, just for the record. Um, but I am anti looking at symptoms without looking at the root.
Mhm.
So a lot of people that I work with in the ketamine space have the words treatment resistant in front of whatever it is that they're working with. Now, I love working as a hypnotherapist because I don't work out of the DSM. I don't check boxes, and I don't assume that if someone's coming to me saying like, "Oh, I have treatment resistant depression," which is common for me to hear, I'm just like, "Well, what does that mean? What does that mean
Mhm.
for you?" I know what the scientific community means. I'm not
Mhm.
licensed to work with it the same way that if you show up to a therapist, they're like, "Oh, okay, if you're treatment resistant, it means da 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 da." I'm just like, so we get to start asking questions and we get to start unpacking like, first of all, depression, anxiety, PTSD, the big things that are bringing people to ketamine are these umbrella terms, right? It's just like trying to order a package and I'm like, yeah, Amazon, I'm on planet Earth,
Come find
right?
me.
It's just like the continent is depression,
Right.
right? So we get into like what do these symptoms mean? Because again, if you like umbrella terms, so if you look at any of these diagnoses, any of these labels, there's so many symptoms, right? Let's
Mhm.
not
Yes.
assume someone has all of them. So anyways, I'm getting into the weeds.
And let me just say, in the weeds, uh, I difficult, like, inattention is a symptom of, like, I swear, every single disorder. Like, if you go through the DSM, like, inattentiveness is every single one, and it's like, well, so how do you know where it comes from? I mean, like, paying I don't know. I think it's important to acknowledge, like, I think a lot of people have concerns about like, "Ooh, a provider who isn't licensed. Oh, no." And sure, are there people who are provide services who aren't licensed where that person might not know what they're talking about? Sure. But are there providers who are licensed who have no idea what they're talking about and they follow the prescribed medical model and their patients do not get good results? People listening to this podcast know that the answer to that is yes, because a lot of us have been there where we go to mainstream doctors and the doctor follows the protocol and it doesn't help. So I think I mean I'm just so glad that you're naming that because I want people to think outside the box. You know, I certainly don't want to be like don't trust your doctor because doctors can help you with a lot of things obviously, things that neither of us could help with, but like, I just want people to think flexibly about that because the opposite is true also. Like, Anna can help people with stuff that, like, your primary care doctor cannot help you with and has no idea how to help you with. So I just want people to kind of expand the horizon on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that insight. Um there's a reason that I work as a hypnotherapist and not a licensed therapist. I started
Mhm,
therapy when I was about 11 or 12 years old. That's when my suicidal ideation started coming about. I was
mhm,
in therapy every single age of that from age, yeah, I guess let's say 11 to through college. And so that's what I graduated grad school. I was what, 23? So we're talking about 12 years of therapy.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
it's a lot, yeah,
Not always weekly, but regularly. And
mhm,
um and 7 years later at the age of 30, or I guess yeah, I was like age 29. So 6 years later, I'm laying on the
mm,
floor of my apartment in New York City in my dream life, in my dream apartment with every single checkbox that therapy told me I needed to check in order to
mhm,
feel better, going,
mhm,
"Why do I still feel like this?"
yeah, yeah, that's a powerful story, yeah,
And that's what led me down. That's right around the time that I started. That's why was I climbing the corporate ladder? It was a
mm.
checkbox.
Yeah, right, a checkbox that probably took a lot of work.
Yeah, you know how that checkbox ended? I climbed so far the corporate ladder, I got so far away from my roots of leading students abroad and teaching that I graduated from my career. I was just like, "I don't I don't wanna be the VP. I don't want actually, I wanna go back to working with people." Like, I
Yeah,
got so far
yeah,
up the ladder that I was out of, the people and into the spreadsheets.
jeez, that sounds bad,
Yeah.
sounds real bad.
And it was, I
Yeah,
mean, it was everything, right? Life is so multidimensional, and I think the
mm,
other thing that we can, ways to one of the quickest ways to start healing the subconscious mind, multiple truths. There's
mm,
we can coexist with multiple truths. So
mm,
at the same time that I was climbing the corporate ladder and it was taking me further from what had brought me to that career, it also gave me, the access to pursue different trainings. And so I started
mm,
doing different trainings, and that's how I trained as a hypnotherapist. I was just following it as a curiosity, and because I wasn't in the same, like, capacity of, like, working with students all the time, I got to explore different, interests, and so that's how I became a hypnotherapist. It was totally by accident. I never really pursued
wow,
it. The same way
wow,
I really never pursued a career and study abroad. I was just like, "I like to travel. You're gonna pay me to do that? Great."
yeah, awesome, though that's cool.
Um, but the therapy, yeah, therapy's come a long way, and to your point, there are professionals with licensure, with, board certified fill in the blank that
Mhm,
are very good at something and may not be good at your case.
yes,
And the same
yes,
way that is a growing, in the age of, like, yeah, like, sort of the pandemic brought so many people into the online space. Like, there's so many people that are not licensed in
mhm,
whatever you're seeking help with, but are actually self-studied and have actually found a different perspective and a different
mm,
lens on the answers you're seeking that might actually be helpful. And
absolutely,
I know what I'm about to say does not apply to everyone, because we have been conditioned to override our internal truth meter. We've
mhm,
been conditioned to outsource and everything to look out, which is why anything that we're talking about subconscious, which is looking in, is just like, whoa, why
mhm,
why would I do that when my whole world is out here? It's just like, well, actually, that's just, again, your conditioning, programming, and the culture that we live in. We are, the US is we just celebrated 250 years of this experiment, called the
mhm,
United States of America. It's a
right,
very new country with a very
mhm,
new culture that is actually taking cultures from all over the world. And at the same time, I've been studying yoga for most of my life. My undergrad degree is in diplomacy. I've been studying, comparative religions and things like that. And there are more cultures in the world that actually believe in deeper layers of existence
mm,
than not.
mm,
So when we're talking about, yeah, like, what are you looking for? Like, to your point, your audience has been to the doctors, they've followed the protocols, they've
Yeah.
cleansed, they've stopped the sugar and the gluten and the alcohol
Mhm,
and whatever it is, and, like,
mhm.
why is it not brought them the results? Because they're on the surface, and what they're looking for is beneath the surface. And
Yeah.
so that's what a lot of people stumble into the ketamine space are just like, "Oh, great, you have a new drug that's gonna do the thing for me," and it doesn't work that way. The ketamine is not going to fix your problems, it's going to make you fixing your problems more attainable, more accessible, more possible, okay? Like, can I tell you, like, the number one breakthrough that people that I work with have?
Mm.
Going for a
Please.
walk makes them feel better.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, same. I'm in that category,
A
yep.
walk around the block. You know?
Mhm,
But and I don't mean to, like, yeah, I'm not trying to sound, like, facetious or sarcastic or anything like that, because when you are seeping in treatment-resistant fill in the blank, and you are on, a schedule of, like, doctor after doctor going, "We don't know what's wrong with you. We don't know what to offer you. We don't know what to do for you." And then you're seeping in the problem, and ketamine gets you into working towards the solution. Right? And so
mhm,
people are like, yeah, like we start asking questions of like, well, when do you feel better? It's just like, oh, like when I move my body, when I, you know, am hopeful about the state of the world, which God bless, not an easy task in 2026.
right,
Um,
literally.
so everybody has the answers inside of them. And the answers
Mhm,
are really unique to the
mhm,
individual, and what hypnosis does, what anything with the subconscious does, what anything with somatic therapy does, is that it gets you to turn in instead of turning out. And, yeah, and that path's not for everyone. Some people
mhm,
turn out, like, God bless, I love those people that just, like, turn out, get the answers, and, like, live an amazing existence. Like, thank goodness. Thank goodness
mhm,
we don't
mhm,
all need to, you know?
mhm, mhm,
But there's a reason that some of us do need to go into the deeper layers. And, the reasons could be, again, patterning, conditioning from childhood, um, the inheritance, right? Of like, I'm an immigrant. So, like, what I've inherited about, the view of the world and things like that, we all carry that. And so, some of us, the patterns, the teachings that we carry serve us, serve what we want to accomplish in the world, and they will never listen to your podcast. They will never listen to my podcast. They will never seek deeper answers. But if
mhm,
someone is on a path, go asking any sort of question and not finding the answer is underneath.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. That's I've the way you're saying, like, move from looking on the surface to looking beneath the surface. I think that's such a good way to describe what most people with chronic pain need to do. Are there certain, like, patterns that you see in a lot of the clients who you work with ketamine, or certain, like, realizations that a lot of people have, or certain issues that, like, is, you know what I mean? Or advice that you find yourself giving over and over? Like, are there common themes that stand out to you that you think might be helpful for people listening to this to know?
Yes. Um, so I'm really grateful and fortunate to work with a variety of populations. So again, because
Cool.
ketamine is this like even playing field of psychedelic medicine and healing, I'm working with CEOs of really big companies. I'm
Cool.
working with, I mean, I've worked with kids, teenagers. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, yeah.
And so there's like a big scope and range.
Mhm,
And so I would
mhm,
say like each demographic has its own thing,
mm,
but
mhm.
what it usually boils down to is that I want something different for my life than what I've been told I need to pursue and
Yeah.
told again, either family of origin, societal conditioning, or the thing we put on ourselves, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh, if I climb the corporate ladder and get this job and get this income level, and then I can buy this car and then I can buy this house, then I'll be happy. It's like most
yeah,
people coming into the world, into the psychedelic space, into this world of psychedelic healing have followed that thread. I'm just really lucky and fortunate and eternally grateful that reached the end of that thread at age 29. Like,
yeah.
you know,
That's awesome.
right? Like some people.
First of all, congrats, and second, that's
Thank
awesome.
you. I know. I was like, "I got you. You want me to check all the like, I gotta check these boxes to be
Like, I
happy?"
can do it.
Yes, I will check all of them. Let's go.
Yeah,
And then I'm laying on the
yeah,
floor going, "Crap, I'm out of boxes." Like,
yeah.
what do I do
Now
now?
what?
Like, the script's
Yeah,
over. Because I gotta
yeah,
jump off this cliff now, you know?
yeah, yeah, really.
But usually it is, right? Again, to your diagnosis, self-abandonment, people pleasing, people
Yeah,
follow that thread enough to be like, wow, it's really not making me happy. It's not, giving me the life that I want. And so there's this reckoning of just like, wait, why aren't I happy running this business that I've built from the ground up that employs
mm,
600 people? Like,
mm,
shoot, like, where did I lose myself along
mhm,
the way, right?
mhm.
The parent that's like, "Oh, shoot, like, why am I still taking care of my adult child?" Like,
Yeah,
that's not how I wanted this to go. And
yeah.
then I think honestly right now, of all the populations that I work with, like 16 to 25, like, can you imagine?
You mean like like to be that age in this
Can you
time?
imagine trying to go to
I
college right
cannot.
now?
No, I cannot. It's funny you say that because I remember when I was in college, it was 2006 through 2010 when I was in college, and I remember at the time we would listen to music from the 1960s and like romanticize how like crazy it must have been to be young in an era that was so exciting and vibrant and everything's changing and life now is so boring. It's like 2007 and everything's so boring. And that turned around real quick. And I'm like, life is so nuts now.
Yeah.
Or imagining going being a kid during the pandemic, being in high school or college during the pandemic. I can't even imagine it. I can't even
I've
imagine it.
coached those, kids, young people, whatever you wanna
Yeah, I've
call
had
them.
them as therapy clients too. Yeah, totally. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and the thing I find myself saying over and over again to that population of young people, what I am noticing that they struggle with the most is finding where they fit into this world, and what I end
Mm.
up saying to them over and over again is like, "You don't see yourself fitting into this world because you are here to build a new one."
Hello. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's what is an existential crisis if not like, how do I fit in? Because at the most primal level, we are hardwired for connection. So going against the grain, things like that, they're hard for a reason because they're overriding the foundation of our nervous system to just like go with the status quo and fit in. And so yeah, and the thing that I find myself also saying over and over again to clients again across the board, every population that I ever work with is it's the tiniest break in the pattern that just breaks the whole thing. I often talk about it with my one-on-one work. It's the crack in the windshield and then it just
Mm,
spider webs and then
mm,
and then the whole thing comes down. And that's what it
mm,
is with the subconscious as well. It's like people I get it. I lived there for a very long time. My past diagnoses of all the depression, anxiety umbrellas, I'm not going to get into it, and thinking like, my anxiety is such a big problem. I must need a big solution. And again, it's just like,
mhm,
well, actually, if I just take a walk around the block, it actually feels better. And so there's ways that the subconscious mind keeps you from even taking small steps. Like, oh, it's not going to
mhm,
matter. "Oh, it's not gonna make a
Mhm.
difference. Oh, I've tried
Mhm.
that before." These are all, like I talk about it with clients. We make, the album of the ego's greatest hits.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
cool.
they're different, they have a different flavor, but they're usually some version of, "It doesn't matter, it won't make a difference, I shouldn't even bother."
Mm. Mhm.
Insert,
Yeah.
uh, some some false belief about worthiness in there as well. Uh,
Sure.
so
Yeah. Sure. So it sounds like my ego.
greatest hits.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Um,
I know that. I know that song.
yeah, but that's what it is. It's, like, with what I like, the patterns that I see in clients is, like, we're all like, human experience is really basic. Like, we all wanna
Yeah.
be happy, we all wanna feel fulfilled, and we all want to thrive.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
what does that mean for you? That's the
Yeah.
thing. So it's like most of us are filling those buckets with what, I lovingly call the, society's life prescription. Just
Mhm.
like, get a job, climb the ladder,
Mhm.
buy these
Mhm.
things, marry this person,
Mhm.
procreate, all of these things that I can't even, like, say, like, fully because they're so, I'm noticing so many more people just, like, either having accomplished all that and being like, "Oh, shoot, that wasn't it. What do
Mhm.
I actually
Mhm.
want?" Or,
Mhm.
more and more people preemptively opting out of it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It really stands out to me what you said, what was it? You don't see yourself fitting into this world because you're here to build a new one. That's like, boom. I love that. And the other thing that I'm really resonating with in what you're saying is like that a very common pattern that you see is people thinking they want one thing, but it turns out what they actually want is different. And something that we talk about all the time on this podcast is that part of healing from chronic pain is attuning to your true self,
Mhm.
and which is very different than the false self. And if people listening, if you are someone who is putting all of your energy into going after things that you truly don't actually want, you are repressing like that takes energy to
Mhm.
repress like who you really are and what you really need and what you really want. That takes energy, and that very well may be where the pain and symptoms are coming from, is like pushing all of that down, and fearing all of that, fearing who you really are so that you can make way for who you think you should be. So I'm just like, we are speaking the same
Mhm.
language, and that is so cool. But all right, we should wind down. Anything else you want to share? And as we are winding down about healing, ketamine, subconscious mind, anything else to share as we're winding down?
I want to encourage people to keep seeking the answer that is true for them.
Boom.
That's gonna be different for everyone, and again, from 8 years of guiding people into their subconscious mind, knowing that there are certain themes and archetypes of universal truths, right? Again, we all wanna be happy, but the details are so personalized, and if you are listening to this podcast and you're resonating with this conversation, I wanna applaud your resilience and your perseverance and just
Mm,
say, like, just because you haven't found it yet doesn't mean it's not out there. Like, just keeps like, he who seeks shall find.
mm. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, okay. Where can people find you? Say people are interested in hypnotherapy. They're interested in ketamine coaching. Maybe they just want to listen to the podcast because they find you to be very wise and they want to know more. Where can people find you?
Ketamine Connections podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and any of the episodes in the show notes has every link you could possibly find to find me. And if that doesn't work, annakristal.com. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And just so people know, what are you offering right now?
What am I offering right now? So many things. We have free offerings. So we have a library of hypnosis recordings. So if people are like, what does it mean to go into the subconscious? They can just hop into the ketamine starter portal. There's hypnosis recordings in there, totally free. We have the ketamine preparation protocol, which is a deeper dive. That's the program that you have been
Which I
through.
did. Yes, yeah. Awesome, great times.
Yeah, so that's like a deeper dive. People are like, "I wanna know everything about the subconscious mind," like, that's where you'll find it,
Yeah.
and the show and the Ketamine Connections podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's so like, it's so nice to, because I first met you, obviously met, quote unquote, met you through the podcast, but to actually know you and talk to you and, to hear your perspective on the subconscious mind and really have that integrated with this chronic pain work is just so cool. And it's like we're doing different versions of the same thing. And that's just like really, really awesome. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom with this audience
Yeah,
today.
thank you, it's my pleasure.
Awesome. And for everybody listening, this has been Mind Body Medicine for Chronic Pain. And I will talk to you next week. If you're looking for a therapist, you found one. And you can decide, does my vibe resonate with you? Therapy is an opportunity. Therapy is an opportunity to tune into you, to learn to feel more comfortable being yourself, to feel more comfortable with your emotions, and to feel more comfortable existing in the world in your body. Do you have difficulties in your life? Maybe it's chronic pain, maybe it's something else. Maybe you want to become a person who likes yourself. Do you want a therapist to help you? And would you like me to get to know you and to help you? That is actually an option. You can find me at SeanHershey.com or MindBodyMedicineForChronicPain.com. Both go to the same place, and if you're looking for me, I'd welcome a message from you. SeanHershey.com, MindBodyMedicineForChronicPain.com, and you can request a free consultation.